Hey everybody, one other episode of On the Paint Table. This is my weekly show where you see what I'm working on, what I got done, and what is coming up. So this week, another 7 models painted to my Rogue Trader kicking off 2022 with some stuff that's 35 years old paint project. I finished my Devastators, my Tarantula, and my Apothecary, also called a Medic back then, for Rogue Trader. I got a couple Rogue Trader games in this week too. Last weekend, Chris came down and we played like basically an example game of straight into the rulebook Rogue Trader through into the battle manual Rogue Trader, which is kind of a bridge between first and second edition, working our way up to playing second edition. So we'll take a little break after this, and I'm probably going to start the second edition project. It made sense to do it in order and to kind of show the transition between these very different versions of the game kind of into what we play now. Other exciting stuff that showed up, some new game stuff from Blacksite Studio. Lunar is here. This is the game of brutal skirmish combat on Earth's moon between NASA and the Soviet Union. Basically, the moon's been colonized, and you know how humans are. They're the worst. They start fighting a war up there with some beautifully sculpted resin miniatures and vehicles and stuff. I collected some more stuff for my second edition project, just bits and pieces, finding all the card stock and terrain, all the reference sheets, and some very cool sort of like surprise models showed up in the mail too that someone had kicking around and they wanted me to paint. So let's see what got done and what is coming up. So first things first, I am 5 little pieces away from being completely done my Rogue Trader project. I swore up and down when I filled this old Chessex carrying case that I would pump the brakes and either do another Rogue Trader army or move on, because you know me, it's all gas. There's no brakes. I start on something and I get obsessed and then I don't stop painting, which is why I wanted to hammer the rest of the stuff I had assembled out this week. So, old Talisman Cyborg. This guy actually comes with a guard crewman who I've painted up for my sort of like adventurers collection, but the twin Lascannon Tarantula goes right on into second edition and is in very soft lead. So this thing is literally like a little hover platform with a crewman, and a Space Marine army does a servitor crewman. I could have used the big red one as a like a thrall, chapter thrall, but I figured I have him, why not use him like a period kind of servitor with the Talisman Cyborg. The OG Medic miniature with his his like Carnifex, his put you to sleep gun there, and a bull pistol, painted up in my Flesh Tears colors with just some white sort of accessories, or accents rather, with the helmet and the shoulder pad to mark him up as being a medic. He's a great miniature, one of the original OG metal backpack Space Marines from the Rogue Trader rulebook. Actually, he's painted up in here, and he was a joy to put in my collection for this army. He's kind of perfect. Then 5 Devastators, led by just a regular squad leader with a bolter. He's actually, you can see here, they've used the dolly for him as the basis for this heavy bolter Marine too. And I kind of wanted to include them together, even though they sort of match, just to show that practice off. Both these guys actually needing backpacks, and he's got the low slung heavy bolter. The rest of these are proper heavy weapon troopers from the era, and you can see they don't have backpacks, and that way all their weapons are interchangeable. So I have 2, I want to do the weirdest weapons possible. So 2 conversion beamers, and you can see their backpacks are actually integrated to the model as like a little power supply for the weapon. They have these weirdly extended shoulders, and then this guy's helmetless, and so the other conversion beamer is a Beaky. You can see with his like eye scope and stuff. Once again, the backpack is like built in. He's got kind of like just like a power plant on him, and there's no spot for an actual plastic backpack. And then 1 heavy bolter, so that I could have my 2 heavy bolters with another Beaky. This dolly is actually used as a chainsword Marine who will end up being one of my assault Marines. But you can see there his backpack again integrated into the body and up into the arm there. So you have this like weird sort of like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's very specific to the heavy weapon Marines. And these heavy weapons are the same heavy weapons that actually go onto the Tarantula. And the way they basically reuse it, so you use any weapons you want, as you can see there on the inside, it has like little fake shoulders. So if you look on the interior there, see, you just mount these Lascannons in. These are the same Lascannons that would go on a Space Marine, just mounted on the actual Tarantula miniature. Same paint scheme as before. Everything starts Corvus Black, current Citadel color, and then it is sort of like base coated with like Lead Belcher, I think it is, or Iron Blaster, sorry, for the weapons. All the metal accessories, and then the legs are done with Doombolt Brown. I'd use Sterling Battlemire for the bases. Everything's hit with a 0-0 wash. And then the details are blended up with, I think it's wild red or red, like the orangey red basically for the highlights, through a little bit of Evil Sun Scarlet as well. As like the mid-tone with the Doombull Brown. And then the details for the armor have some Demonette hide, I think, mixed in with the Corvus Black to give a nice little edge highlight. And then just various other highlights and details and stuff to bring them all about. But loved these miniatures. Had a great time painting them. I have 5 jump packs. I have to find the remaining bodies, Assault Marine bodies, so that I can do an all-metal army here. And you can see I've just fit everything in. So this guy goes in with his support weapon actually, just to be safe. Carnifex Man, and then these fellas all fit in here. And then I love these cases as like a benchmark for a project. I work better with parameters. I work better with like a little sandbox, and having like, hey, there's 40 slots in this case. Use them as you will, but once you're done, was a great way of like kind of me compartmentalizing the project and picking the models I wanted. So you can see I've got 5 slots left for the assault squad, and then whoops, and then that's it. It's on to the next thing. And I've been reading my compendium, or my companion rather, and the Genestealer cult's looking really good. But I also have Chaos models I want to paint, and Guard models, and Grey Knights, and Imperial Agent models. There's a lot of Rogue Trader stuff. Once I get going on something, it's quite difficult to get me to stop. So we'll move on to 2nd edition. Again, this is a completely 2nd edition compatible army, but I want to use some period miniatures as well. I think for the first couple games, I'll probably use just the Codex army list to show how you could carry over your Rogue Trader army. And then for the second game, when I'm playing out of an actual Codex, I'll use period 2nd edition miniatures to show the evolution of the game. And we'll do another 2-parter for how Rogue Trader became 2nd edition, and then how 2nd edition became 3rd edition. Then check it out, it's Lunar. The 2-player battle box comes with NASA and the Soviets. You get your rule book, which I pulled it right here, 70-page rule book with all your faction stuff. Looks like most of your stats and gear on cards. So I pulled this stuff out to check it out so I could figure out what to actually build. And then there's stuff to send along as some review samples, some complimentary samples, all the accessories and stuff too. So we've got like different Soviet stuff, the lunar icons, I'm not really sure what that is, probably characters, Lunicod buggy, the NASA moon buggy, unmanned rovers, a Sagawa heavy ATLV, so some kind of like dune buggy, and then a freelancer crew of like freelancer, like I guess people are just gold rushing up there. The weapons and greeblies pack, and then a resin mining supply marker, so that you've got all your like objective markers and stuff too. Even some long stickers that I think are super cool. So if you're like NASA stickers, your CNSA, whatever that is, then like a special moon sticker. I don't know. Very, very cool stuff. I'm excited to try it out. I'm going to split this with Jay. I'll let him pick what faction he wants, and I'll paint the other one, and we'll try out some Lunar. So I'm digging through my boxes, found my reference sheets for 2nd edition right out of the box set, which is super handy, as well as the weapons list for playing some core games, as well as all my templates. Just packed them all in this box. And then David Sherwood was looking through some models that he was just never getting around to, and asked if I wanted to paint them. And I'm really hoping I get a chance to add these to my kill team sometime soon. I haven't painted any of these character models for the Death Guard, but I love my Death Guard kill team. I would really like the new kill team for, it's the Genestealer cult. Has the Kellermorph and the, whatchamacallit, the big axe guy, the big melee fighter guy, the Locust in there. So I'm hoping some of these minor Death Guard characters get put into the Death Guard list too, and it'll give me a chance to paint them up and put them into my team. And then the reason was that he was actually messaging me was because he had an Eisenhorn, and I haven't gotten a chance to paint this guy. And he is literally my favorite character in 40k. One of the most compelling examples of sort of like the character arc of the things you have to do to try and do the right thing in the Warhammer universe. I love this character, and Young Eisenhorn is easily one of my favorite characters in the lore. And if you're ever looking to kind of like understand the 40k universe, I think that the original trilogy, Xenos, Malleus, and Hereticus are the best way to actually see the soft white underbelly of the Imperium. So I'm pumped. Big thanks. Very cool. I'm pumped to actually paint these up, David, and especially Eisenhorn here. He's gonna be one of those things where I take some time to do something for myself. I'm just gonna, for no reason, spend a loving amount of time painting him and do a sort of like a nice shelf piece, I think, for Eisenhorn.
So we got another week, another 7 models painted. I honestly, it would have been more, but once I painted, like, I had the steam after I played games with Chris to finish those models. And then as like I stalled out not being able to find the miniatures to do the assault squad, I was just like, I don't really want to paint anything else. Like I was really, this is my momentum problem. Is I get momentum on a certain project, I get excited about it, and then I'm just not excited by anything else. I was like, I could finish Trajan, I could finish my Terminators for my Custodes army, and I was like, ooh, moon people. And the kids have been online learning this week too, which has been, of course, eating up a whole bunch of my time. But yeah, this is when I get fixated on something, it's why I need to give myself like a cutoff point. I need to finish those last 5 miniatures, and I can get excited about painting something else again, because otherwise I'm just going to be pining for 35-year-old lead Space Marine models on eBay until it's done. And then from there, I've got basically that army ready to go to play Chris in the sort of like Codex Army Lists version of the second edition game. And then moving on from there, I'll start painting I'll get another large Chessex carrying case and paint another 40 model second edition 40k army. Probably just the second edition version of these Flesh Terrors in like the modern color scheme and stuff instead of the Codex, to show how the Codex system kind of grew the game. But it was a ton of fun. You'll be able to see next week on Thursday the GMG like Throwback Thursday review for Rogue Trader, and then our first game. And this series is something kind of passionate about right now. It's, you know, it's my childhood in miniature wargaming and kind of like the development and stuff. And I think it's a fun project for me and Chris to do. So we'll be coming back to it quite a bit. And we've been chatting a bunch about the second edition sort of leg of it and what we're going to do to add to that model collection. So anyway, big thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for more On the Paint Table. We'll see what I get done. Till then, I'm Ash. Have a good night. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look through the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My two kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continuing to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death Ray Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Gamma Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.